I know people hate black people, but they stay constantly in our business. You know, we'll have some terminology we using over here in the corner, and then next thing I know, it's a pejorative. You know, we said woke because we woke up to systemic oppression being embedded in every part of our society, and including the government. And then they were like calling us wokes after that. I was like, not the Russian doll or the N-word. Like, you know, we used to be like urban, ethnic, you know, and then we turned into wokes, and now we're DEIs. I'm like, how far is this gonna go? Like, leave us alone. Words absolutely mean things, and they also incite things. So
That's
you know, just saying something you think is cute, but then it can turn to violence pretty easily as more people get comfortable with the idea.
Tell us about a moment where you wish you would have said something and you didn't. There's nothing better than this. Say what you mean. 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 Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Aida Rodriguez, and welcome to another episode of Say What You Mean, where my friends and foes stop by to say the things they wish they would have said and didn't. And you get to see it here first. I start the show off with my own Say What You Mean, and this one goes out to one of the moms at my son's school who made it a point to remind me that I wasn't married because all of the other moms were married. So she tried to shame me for being single. And she was like, oh, I forget you're not married. And you know, it made me feel kind of weird because I already felt some kind of way by the way that the other moms treated me. So what I would say to her is like, if you're not secure about your man, that don't have anything to do with me. My marital status has nothing to do with how you see yourself. And I hope that you see yourself as more than just somebody's wife, because before you were married, you were somebody, and I hope you know it. And if you don't, I hope you learn it. Yeah, I don't want to be evolved anymore. Our next guest is the host of a very popular and fun podcast that I had the pleasure of doing. It was so fun. I learned about these women in England that were robbing people, the elephant ladies, and it was just so fascinating. It's such a great podcast that it's now a TV show on Hulu. You've seen her on iCarly.
Yes.
And you can see her now on Going Dutch, also on Hulu. Give it up for my girl, Laci Mosely.
Thank you. Yes. I always love when you come on Scam Goddess. It's a good time. Yes.
I learned. I was like, I love to hear about women being rebels in times where they were not supposed to be or weren't able to be.
Exactly.
So I learned something very exciting.
It's like, if I can't have a bank account, I'm going to have your bank account. What's up? Yes. I love it. Very empowering.
Yes.
Entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs. Yes.
Tell me, where did the idea of Scam Goddess come from?
It was kind of a scam myself. I have been doing a lot of guesting on other people's podcasts and stuff, but obviously I'm an actor, so I can't like do a daily podcast every day and things like that. And I had this little pitch and this little resume of all the shows I had done, and I took it around town, and they were like, "Oh, we have so many current events comedy podcasts. Like, we don't need like this. The market's not there for that." And I wasn't famous because, you know, if you famous, girl, they'll goop, swoop, schmoop. They'll just they'll put you in anything, anywhere.
Yeah.
But so I realized I had like a true fascination with like scams, and I was always looking them up, and the true crime market was just now starting to explode. And what I was seeing mostly was like true crime podcasts, even if they were lighthearted, it was still people laughing while they're talking about like a nice white lady getting murdered on her jog home. And I was like, that's kind of sad. And so scams and comedy go together. Scammers usually, you know, they got costumes, they got accents, so that, you know, they're living a lie, just constantly acting. And so I thought it was a fun premise. And so my show is about comedy, robbery, and fraud. And that's where Scam Goddess came from. And then it turned into a book, and then it turned into a television show on Hulu. So there's a whole scam universe.
That's great.
But we're protecting people from scams. I can't believe I was on Good Morning America having to tell Michael Strahan, I am not a criminal. There's literally a clip of that. I'm like, I'm not a criminal. Let's start there. No, we're protecting you from scams.
Because a lot of people who help people protect people from scams and bank robberies are former criminals.
Yes.
So you have to explain that you are not.
I did the research. I wasn't in the field. Allegedly. Okay? Allegedly.
What's your favorite, which one is your favorite episode?
Oh, that's so hard. I feel like there's still a very warm place in my heart for Hilario Baldwin. We did that episode, ended up in the New York Times and everywhere.
Fact that you say her name better than her.
So, Hilario.
In Spanish.
Mira, escúchame. Hilario. Porque yo soy Latina también. Okay?
No, not announced.
No, it's a hot mess. Like, como se dice, cucumber? Like, she was really out here doing the fool. And she scammed Alec Baldwin because how she got with him was pretending to be Latina. Because it was like widely known he had a crush on Salma Hayek when they worked together on 30 Rock. And so I think she went in there and was doing her best fake Latina. And she got that man. And have you ever heard her children's names?
No. What are they? Tell me, please.
Oh my God, I don't know if I can remember all of them, but they're like Rafael, like it's like Edward Paulucas, Rafael, like they're all, she has an Hilaria as a daughter. She's got like 7 of them. It's a whole horde of these children, but they all have very strong Latino names. And that woman is white from Boston.
Yeah, that is the funniest thing.
Yeah, she said she's from España, but she is from Boston.
No, so you did that episode.
Yes.
You did that. And that, oh my God, that is so funny. That
it was so fun. We had Ira Madison on and Oscar Montoya and Siobhan, who like, they're all very big pop culture girlies. And you got to have a good gay on there who's, you know, because like if you really had a good gay function, then at some point it's going to wind down into music videos on the TV. And we all just sitting around watching music videos from any era. So they just like know everything about pop culture. It was so much fun. Also, her scam was kind of harmless. It's like she just pretended to be Latina, ended up on a bunch of magazines, said, you know, or Hispanic rather, because she was from Spain.
Yeah, she's Hispanic.
Get it right. Hispanic because she was from Spain, and you know, she just pretended to be another race.
But she didn't collect any money from this, or
I mean,
like,
technically she did with like the publicity and the show. She didn't, you know, scholarships for school or nothing like that. But technically, because race and nationality are different, like there are white people in Spain, so she was just a white woman.
Most of them are.
Yeah, she was doing a Madonna, but for the long haul. She committed to the bit. I'm sure her children are confused.
Oh, wow. That is fun. So how much do words mean to you?
Words mean things, you know, and it's so annoying to me that we've gotten to this point where language is so widely extrapolated where I don't know why. I know people hate black people, but they stay constantly in our business. You know, we'll have some terminology we using over here in the corner, and then next thing I know it's a pejorative. You know, we said woke because we woke up to systemic oppression being embedded in every part of our society, and including the government. And then they were like calling us wokes after that. I was like, not the Russian doll or the N-word. Like, you know, we used to be like urban, ethnic, you know, and then we turned into wokes, and now we're DEIs. I'm like, how far is this gonna go? Like, leave us alone. Words absolutely mean things, and they also incite things. So
That's
you know,
right.
Just saying something you think is cute, but then it can turn to violence pretty easily as more people get comfortable with the idea.
You know, I've even had to correct myself, even because I have a joke in my special about the woke people, but I do say performative wokeness as opposed to, but I've had to just say, you know, this word is being appropriated. It's been hijacked and it's been misused, and it comes from like honor and respect, and it belongs to somebody else, lady. So I think it's important to be able to correct yourself and to be able to say, hey, that's not cool. You know, I did this, I said this, or whatever. And I think people have a hard time doing that. Don't you think so? Like,
absolutely. People are lazy. And in some places I get it. But in that, it's just like you have to understand that the language is a part of a bigger issue. Yeah. And so once people become comfortable with certain language, then we become comfortable with certain actions. Then all of a sudden when the government starts disappearing U.S. citizens, everybody's still a little bit more comfortable. You know what I mean? And that's just a slow side into fascism. So, you know, words mean things.
I love that you speak up, you know, because a lot of people won't, and they don't want to anymore because they're afraid of consequences and, you know, so on and so forth. But every time I encounter you, you slide it in. And what you do is through comedy, you slide in some real like substantial stuff. It's like you just talked about fascism and you ended a sentence with fascism.
I like to keep it light. No, you do the same thing. I remember when we were talking on another podcast about all the MLM scams and stuff, and that's when I learned that you were a model, which was not shocking because like the material. But I was like, oh, she was in the streets. I was learning from the girls like you. So yes, and on the runways.
Okay. Yes. I'm gonna take all the flowers because when I hit the streets, when I leave these walls, they don't come like this. But yes,
listen, we are in the tundra here, but you know we're fighting it out, we're thugging it out. But so I think that words are important, and then how we use them and why we use them is extremely important. And also when people take a term that has a clear meaning and then turn it into something else or turn it into a pejorative, it is actively working against the people who are trying to change the, oppression that they have come to find themselves in. Yeah. It also minimalizes it. I don't say microaggressions that much anymore because I'm like, it's honestly just an aggression. If everywhere I go, I'm other because of the color of my skin or, my sexual orientation, then it's not micro. That's pretty big. That's macro. That's macroaggression. Yeah.
I think one of the biggest issues that I see like on social media and the commentary that the comments that people are making is that people are minding other people's business.
Ooh.
Like but it's like you so worried about what this person is doing, if this person is gay, if this person is, but you don't use your voice to speak out against like the horrible things that are happening to the group.
Exactly. I always say though, because I tend to find that those people are very miserable. And if you can't face yourself in a mirror, then you're going to look out a window. So if I can't look at myself and change myself, if that's too much work for me to become a better person and find joy within myself, then I'm going to be out the window like, what they doing over there? And I don't approve. And like, it has nothing to do with you, but it gives you a chance to feel good about yourself in an instant way, rather than getting the joy of feeling good about yourself when you do the inner work to heal whatever trauma's holding you back. Go get yourself a hobby, join a little kickball team, make a a bowl, a clay bowl in a craft class, find some joy in your own life. That takes a lot of work and a lot of study, but you can get online and start picking apart somebody else that you don't even know and instantly feel better about yourself without having to do any work.
Have you done work?
Oh, so much.
Tell me about it.
Oh my gosh. I so many therapists, psychiatrists. Oh, we got to do this walk. Okay, we got to journal. We got to start trying to find a routine. Let's go to the doctors. Let's do, it's a lot of work.
Yep.
And it's not something that is instantly gratifying. And oftentimes it's not gratifying until you get out of that situation, and then you will find yourself in a similar situation again, but you don't act the way you would before.
That's right.
And so that's when I start to see the gratification in it. You know what I mean? Like I meet someone, I like them, and then they start saying things that are flags for me. And instead of being like, oh, well, we all say stuff or da-da-da-da, I'm like, you just told me who you were. I was dating somebody, and dating, I say go on dates. I haven't like been in a relationship in a very, very long time. And they were like, yeah, I can be kind of an asshole sometimes. And I was like, boop. Well, when people tell you who they are, believe them the first time. I was like, I don't need to see what's behind door number 3. Thank you so much. Because that's not something I'm going to say to anybody that I'm trying to date. I'm not going to be like, I wouldn't even say that to you. I don't want to be like, well, I'm kind of asshole. Like, then it's like, why would you want to be around me? Like,
that's not what you lead with. Because the reality is that we can all be sometimes. When I start stuttering, it's because I'm sleep deprived.
Oh, I bet you are. You working hard.
No, but I think that the reality is that when we all have the tendency to be everything that a person can be.
Exactly.
So when you lead with that, that's a warning, right?
This is your MO. Like this is your daily stasis, modus operandi. Because we can all have a moment, but I'm like, if you wake up every day, just air fighting, like what's going on?
Girl, guess what? I'm about to up your life.
That's what that was.
I can't either. I hate people who pride themselves in being evil,
being cruel.
Let me ask you a question. Can you think of a moment where you wish you would have said something and didn't?
Yes, and it's very petty. There's so many, but we work in this industry.
We like the petty ones.
So those have to stay where they at.
I feel it.
But right. So, but I do have a moment. There was a art teacher. I think I was in 3rd or 4th grade, and I don't get the creamy crack anymore. But as a child, I would get a perm, and you can get chemical burns from perms pretty easily if it's like left on too long or if you had scratched before or whatever. And so I had just gotten the perm and my hair was looking fly, but like I had a couple sores in my head from like the chemical burn from the perm. Just for me, please. Okay. Just for the burn unit. Unless they sponsor the show. And then we love just for me. Not playing. But so I had a teacher who
that was Kelly Rowland on the box, by the way.
It was. It sure was. Look at silky. Her hair is just so silky. Love Kelly Rowland. Kelly, this is your fault. But so the teacher, she was like, what's wrong? Because I kept like patting my head and I was like, I have sores in my head from like getting a perm. And she looked at me and she was like, ew.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
And I still remember it. I went to school in Texas in a suburban area. You can hear it in my voice. Woo, Texas. Where did that come from? But very white, very racist.
What city?
Frisco, Texas.
Okay.
So this is like north of Dallas. Yeah, where the Cowboy Stadium is now. Mm-hmm. And then unfortunately, the only things I can think to landmark it other than that are racially motivated. Like where the police attacked them black girls in a swimsuit. That was in McKinney, up the street from me. And then most recently, the tragic, situation that happened at the track meet where some students were roughing up another student and then he stabbed one and he died.
That just recently.
Yes. Yeah. And that's like, I went to 2 of those high schools that were at that meet, Centennial and Liberty. Yeah. Wow. So, but I'm like, I wish I could give something that was like, that's why I'm like, the Cowboy Stadium. Don't talk about Jerry Jones. Look, we all knew some photos was going to come out about Jerry Jones. We were just hoping back then the cameras were too old. Or
that's a cult. Too.
Listen, it's a cult, but we don't love that man. That man has been messing with our team for so long. It's like his hobby. It's like an old man with a hobby.
Watch me.
And we're like, sir, please sit down so that we can be a dynasty again. Jesus.
I don't know.
No, but he got a facelift when I was 8. That man is never dying. Okay? It's going to be the roaches and him.
So that lady said ill to you and you were little. You couldn't respond. You didn't know what to respond. Right. So if you could respond on behalf of that little girl now, what would you say?
If I could respond on behalf of that little girl, okay, Miss Teacher Lady, because I do not remember your name. First of all, I want to say shout out to the educators who are good. I've had some wonderful teachers, but not you, bitch. First of all, how dare you? If a kid says they're in pain or if they have some kind of injury to them and your first response is ill, what, because I was black and I got a perm? What, ill because you think you better than me? I guarantee wherever the hell you are in life right now, I am running circles around yo and will be forevermore. I'm that still that will forever be that I was that then. And I can't believe you and your raggedy 90s slide-in shoes that I just know you fought a family for at the local Walmart. Had the nerve to be talking about anything physically about me. Because, sweetheart, what you should have been doing was saving up them art coins and taking your to the spa. You needed a pedicure. Every time you walked around the room, the chalk dust on the back of your foot was popping off. At one point, I thought you was trying to lay new lines at a football field. I need you to get serious about you and your health and your moisture because you were way too deep in my shea butter business. And if I could ever see you again, honestly, I wouldn't do anything to you. I might trip you. That would be fun. But I hope that you have stopped educating because you do not need to be around the youth. And we should have known that when you had us making clay ashtray bowls as gifts for our friends and family. Why am I putting divots in for cigarettes in the ashtray bowl and I am in middle school? Then I got to glaze it and give it to my grandma. Can we be serious? Why did you think that was a good idea? Clearly you don't got no damn good sense. And hopefully you are no longer around the youth.
Ooh, so this is what happens. Y'all better leave those children alone. Because this is Say What You Mean 2025. In the future, they're going to send a robot to beat your
Not controlled from my phone.
You know how many people have shared stories about when they were little kids, and you can't advocate for yourself. Yeah. And now they're like, hey, that was kind of messed up that they said that to a little kid.
Because it wasn't even like I could have taken it if it was like like she felt bad or something like that. It was like ill, like I was dirty and nasty or something like that, And in a culture that does not wash a leg, please do not tell me. Please.
She continues to work. Y'all don't wash y'all legs.
Okay? I mean, they don't. And now they bragging about, washcloths are for poor people. I'm like, okay, I don't know. Well, how y'all getting the skin off? I don't know. These are questions. I don't need the answers.
Did they say that washcloths are for poor people?
That's the new TikTok thing. Yes, that washcloths are for poor people.
Someone said to me, I will say, that the reason why people of color use washcloths is because it's embedded in the DNA, because that's what white people used to do when they would wash them before they would sell them.
Oh my God.
They were like, yeah, that's why
you always got some connection back to slavery, child. But I just do it and I don't use the same one twice, and I don't use the one on my face on my body. Like, there are these things that we don't know. I have a dry brush. I have several different types of soap for different parts of my body. Like, we're not all doing this.
Well, you know what? That's what you say back to that lady. Ew. We have a segment on the show called Shoulda Kept That. I'm going to share a story with you. And you tell me if this person should have said it or should have kept it.
Okay.
I kept getting UTIs and the doctor was becoming concerned. I told the doctor that my husband wasn't circumcised and asked if that could be the problem. My husband was furious that I shared that with the doctor. Should I have kept that?
It's the doctor. You absolutely should have told that. And more so, your husband shouldn't be furious. He should be furiously washing the penis tip and everything in there. Okay, go ahead. Pop in the shower, sweetheart, and pull the skin back and wash the whole thing because it's definitely your fault. Ugh, bathe. We're already back to bathing. No, your husband should be ashamed that you had to seek medical professionals because he can't wash it up after basketball practice.
That's an ill as well.
Not on you, girl, though. That's how you should be honest with your medical professionals.
I agree.
Yeah.
I thought so too. We have this segment called Say It With Your Chest. Mm-hmm. This is our lightning round. And I cannot wait to hear your answers to this. Right. Smash or pass, 23andMe. Like I'm
not giving the government my DNA. I got too many cousins with one strike or more.
That's right. iPhone or Android?
iPhone, even though the Android is systemically better.
Yeah. How old were you when you first became intrigued with the scams?
I was probably a child. As a child, I wanted to make money. And any child who wants to make money is definitely a criminal. If your kid wants to make a lemonade stand or resell lollipops and hot chips at school, you're dealing with a serial entrepreneur.
Fight or flight, one wild boar.
One wild boar. Is eat an option?
Would you fight it and eat it?
Oh, yeah, I'll square up with a boar for sure.
You would?
I'm taller than a boar. Do boars have horns?
They have teeth. Tusks.
Oh, I could kick them right. Do I get to wear shoes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm kicking the boar in the teeth. No, it's over.
You know, it's so funny. It's like such a polarizing question. Half of the people are like, I'm not doing anything to an animal.
Oh, wow. Now I got now the PETA people coming in. Wow. Well, I would give it a hug before I put it on a sandwich.
If you could say one thing to your favorite teacher, what would it be?
One thing to my favorite teacher, I'm going to say one who's not here anymore because I have two. But I would say, Miss Nolan, you're an icon. You are the moment. And you really taught me how to be the bad that I am today. And I love you so much.
Was she in Texas?
She was in Texas. She was an English teacher. Like, sometimes I would get picked on. No one allows me to say that I was a nerd, even though I was. But I was popular. I was class president. I was student body president. Mm-hmm. Like, I was kind of like that. But I was also a nerd. I never got to go nowhere. I just sat at home at MySpace while everybody was, I don't know, like doing beer and, making out. And there was this one girl who was really jealous of me. And she spread this rumor that I was pregnant. I was like a sophomore in high school. I'd never had sex. And it was just like stuff that she would do and then Miss Nolan took me under her wing and she was like, that girl is just jealous of you because I can see everything that you're going to be and she can too. And then she got me some tickets to see Maya Angelou. And so I got to see Maya Angelou before she passed. Like, she was a great teacher. I would hang out with her like once we graduated and stuff too. Wonderful woman, real bad. You can never kill.
That's a very nice teacher. And you said there was another one.
Yes, Miss Rankin. Miss Rankin, it was also an English teacher. Clearly, I like to gab. Mm-hmm. I would just be hanging out after class, like, what you doing? You need help grading the papers? I don't know. I was a nerd. But she was always very encouraging of everything that I was doing. And then, and we've always stayed in touch. And recently, we kind of had this full circle moment where she was in town. She hit me up. And I went and hung out with her sons and her husband. And we grabbed lunch. She said, next day, we're doing a tour of Universal. I said, I'll probably be there for work. So when they got to the like Lopez set and they were like driving by on the tour thing, she texted me and she was like, I think we just passed it. But my trailer was like outside of the big thing because we had a big cast. And I ran out of my trailer and like waved to her on the trolley tour. And she was like, that's my student.
Oh, that's sweet.
And it was so beautiful. And that's also, she's from Texas as well. I like cried a little bit when I got back to the stage because I was like, that's really cool.
That's very nice. I love to hear those stories.
Yeah.
So with Scam Goddess, have you ever gotten any blowback from any of the stories?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
I've had people contact me. One person, he probably gonna see this because he really pays attention, but Rena Hitman.
Oh,
so
there was another. Oh, there's a movie there's a movie.
Oh,
there's a network that airs a certain type of movie, and we had to hear about.
Really?
Yeah. Or no. This was a Sigourney Weaver movie.
Okay.
It was an assassin.
Well, this guy is in real life. He has a website called RentAHitman.com. And people go on there and they like register that they want to do a hit. It's usually spouses or, arguing business partners. And then once they've gone through the full process and exchanged the money for the murder to happen, he then takes that information and he gives it to the police. So I talked about him on Scam Goddess because I said he's running the scam because he's not actually doing the murders. But it's a great cause. It's a great cause. I'm not saying do murders. He's doing a great thing. But he didn't like
it is technically a scam.
But it's technically a scam because you are not doing no murders. And you don't got like a wall up like we got 25 satisfied customers. This person, this person's no longer in their life because of me. No, but he's doing a wonderful thing for the world. But obviously I'm silly, goofy, girly. And so after that, he made it a point to prove that, his business is legitimate and not a scam. And so anytime he's in the news where someone has been apprehended because of RentAHitman, he direct messages me the link or he'll comment on the post on our Scam Goddess page. And it's been throughout the years. Yeah, RentAHitman, he did not like what I was doing to his brand.
So you're paying him to snitch on you?
You don't know he's gonna snitch. You think he's gonna do a murder for hire, but he's actually just waiting until he has enough information so that he can take that and the payment showing the intent that you really wanted the murder.
So he doesn't take the money.
No. He takes it and he gives all the information to the police and then they come apprehend you.
Do you think there are people who actually believe that there would be a RentAHitman website, that it would be legitimate?
Yes. People ask AI for everything now. Like people won't I'm like, Google is right there, sweetheart. And they're like, no, AI, ChatGPT, Grok. And those things aren't always accurate. They're amassing data from other places and Wikipedia and wherever else. You can't count on it being accurate just because it's from AI. So of course they're like getting on AI, like, how do I murder a spouse? And then some links come up. Like, what? The internet can do a lot for us. I think Amazon has really primed people to think they can get too much from the internet because it's like you can get like a shampoo holder same day shipping on Amazon, but I don't think you can like go online and get a murderer.
No, I would think that the Hitman website would be like brownbox.com.
So it's stealthier.
Yeah, something that isn't as that RentAHitman.com.
So like that
just sounds like, let's go steal.org. Like it just sounds, it's interesting that somebody would be like, you know what? I'm so tired of Jerry. Let me go on. Let me see. And I wonder if they think like you can pick the hitman, like you can coordinate which hitman you want. I like Marlin with a rope. You know what I mean? Like
there's like places to click. It's like, I wanted to be quick.
Yeah.
He wasn't that bad.
I did Alice and the Cyanide and she worked hard. She worked wonders for me.
Right. There's like customer reviews.
Yeah.
Like the hit did take longer than expected, but we eventually did get the job done.
I'm dumbfounded by that. The belief, to actually know that somebody went to RentAHitman.com.
More than one, many people.
And then was upset when they ended up behind bars.
Yes.
Because they got busted. It's like it's a Hulu movie. Look at me pitching over here.
Right, literally. Let's go write it.
No, let's go.
Let's go write it out.
I'm here.
I think it speaks to the rampant consumerism that we live in America to where you think you can get anything delivered to your door, including someone who will murder your foes. The ops. You can call the ops online and they will pull up to your house skirt and do the murder for you.
It actually, that's so disturbing. Like for me, I think about it and I'm like, sometimes I feel like, man, you really live in a whole other world than a lot of the people. I know that a lot of things are at the fingertips, but to think that an actual hitman is available to you for just $9.99. You can
look. You can put it on Klarna. We got installments. You know
Klarna
what I mean?
Is crazy.
Yes,
Imagine.
we do expect full payment at the funeral, at least by the repast. Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
So did you went to the website?
Yes, I went to the website. It's giving like very plug and play. And you could there's like a fill out like form request and then you get in touch with RentAHitman and that's when y'all start exchanging information. And so you have to have enough information and for like reasonable, cause or like cause that this person actually intends to have someone else murdered. Because, some people could be like, I did it as a bit, but he was going as far as like, he would have their addresses, their work schedules, like people would pay him. And then once he had enough evidence, that's when he would turn them over to the authorities and they would get picked up and some of them are in prison. Yeah.
Do you think that website is still going? Like after press and episodes of podcasts.
I think that there's too much on the internet for everyone to find everything. So I feel like it probably is still going. And people's media literacy is so piss poor now. Their attention span is gone.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there are people, if you're bright enough to think like, let me rent a hitman. It's up. See? Yeah, click solution. Yeah.
I'm tired of getting bullied.
Oh, damn.
Well, damn, we downgraded it to bullying? You gotta die for bullying? I thought it was like, I'm trying to get inheritance or like, a life insurance.
The people that are tired
Bullying.
of being bullying are doing the hitting themselves.
Okay, RentAHitman is really broadening the audience to just like petty people.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's unbelievable.
are you tired of that one woman in the mom group who keeps talking about how you're not married? RentAHitman.
It's a callback.
It's like, I feel like that's very small. Like, I feel like we grievances need to be higher. RentAHitman's lowering his standards. That's a testament to the economy right now. We in a recession. RentAHitman is now doing petty grievances.
Did somebody cut you off in traffic?
Right. You got a license plate? We can make that work.
Tell everybody what's coming up for you, where they can watch you, what's going on, what's on the horizon.
Yes. Hi. So you can watch me, Laci Mosely, on Hulu. There's a military show called Going Dutch where I play as Sergeant Conway. I'm a supply sergeant. Conway. Maybe there's something to that. I don't know. Go watch it. It's with Dennis Leary and Danny Pudi and Taylor Mishak. It's a very fun show. You can also watch Scam Goddess, the television show that I produced and created for ABC News. It's comedy. It's also robbery. And also there's sometimes where you might like cry. It's very interesting. We have a Ghanaian prince. Well, the first episode is Rita. She stole $54 million from her whole town over the course of 20 years. And when you see what she spent it on, crazy. And then you can also listen to my podcast, Scam Goddess, anywhere you listen to podcasts, and get into that as well. Oh, and my book, Scam Goddess, available wherever you get books. Get my book, get Aida's book, get all of our books, and also audiobook.
Nice. Yeah, the audiobooks are very, very popular. And your social media.
Oh, yeah. DIVALACI, Diva Laci on all platforms.
Living her best life.
Trying to.
I'm on her social media and I'm like, where they do
I'm
this
on yours
at?
too. Like, oh, this outfit. Like. Yes, you're popping. I'm so glad I could be here.
I'm glad you
Thank
could
you for
be
having
here
me.
too, because I know you're really busy. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. See you next time. I'll say what you mean. We want to invite you to follow us on social media at SWYM Pod. On all social media platforms. If you are listening, please hit the subscribe button if you're on Spotify or Apple. If you are watching, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to give us your rating and your review. And we will see you next time on Say What You Mean.